Guys, have you ever just felt like sometimes you're on your way to work and something bad might happen? You're just like, wow, if I didn't have this job, I'll be okay. Have you ever just went to work and some customer yelled at you and you're just like, wow, something bad once again? Have you ever went to work early in the freaking morning and you're just like, hey, someone's gonna get hurt today, you know? Did you ever think you were gonna have to call 911 and an ambulance and a fire truck show up to your job at 9 o'clock in the morning because there's a guy laying on the floor basically not moving? Have you just thought about that? Like, did you think that when you were gonna work there that was gonna happen? I didn't either, but yeah, it kind of did happen, so I guess I should tell the story now. So guys, let me tell you how I legit thought this guy's dead. I thought he was dead. Honestly, I didn't know what happened. I mean, all I remember is a guy laying on the floor and my manager on the phone with the police, and I'm just like, oh my god, he's dead. I just witnessed a death. Freaking out. Like, let me tell you what happened. Oh my god, I don't. This is why the morning shift is not good for anyone, okay? No one. So honestly, we had to be there at 5 o'clock in the morning, so sorry, really freaking early, like, to be at the mall. The mall opens 10 o'clock, so it was too early to be at the mall in the first place. So we're all doing our thing. We have tasks. We're just working. I'm, you know, redoing the handbag wall and you know, minding my own business. And all of a sudden, you just hear a like a boom. Like, it wasn't a loud boom. It was like, and then you just hear movement and shuffling, and you just hear a guy like flying. You turn around and there's a guy flying in the air. Like, legit, he flew. Like, it's so hard to explain. Like, I just remember seeing a guy fly. Like, I was like, oh my god, people can fly now. When did this happen? So that morning we walked into the store and we were just doing what we do best, and like I said, I heard boom and a crashing sound, and all of a sudden a guy went flying and then onto the floor. I ran over to the guy, like, oh my god. Like, I didn't say anything, but I'm pretty sure I was thinking, are you okay? Like, I had to be, because I thought he was dead. I think he was dead at the time. I'm telling you, like, he was so still. I thought there was no life in him, honestly. There couldn't have been. This guy was shocked, guys, by 100 volts of electricity fixing a light bulb in our store. A huge light bulb. It's not one of them small ones that you're thinking like, oh, ain't nothing. It's a huge one for a huge store. Like, think about a retail store. Go into a store in the mall and look up. Look at the huge lights. It was one of those. Yes, it was horrible. Like, it was huge. Glass all over the place. I'm just like, oh my god. My manager is like freaking out. She's like, call 911. Are you calling 911? My other manager decides to call 911, and I was like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, what do I do? Like, I didn't ask for this. I just came to work. I'm just trying to get hours. And then all of a sudden she's like, talk to him, Simone. Talk to him. You must keep talking to him or he'll see the light. And I was like, no, don't see the light. I don't need you to go to the light. Don't go to the light. No. And I'm over there like, I didn't know what to say. Like, hey, you okay? Even though you just like got electrocuted and flew across the room, are you okay? Like, no, I couldn't ask the poor guy that. I mean, I thought he was dead for crying out loud. I was shaking. I was like, hey, like, no. And then I was like, you know, the only thing, you know what's crazy? The only thing I could think of, I was like, hey, this is what I said to him. I was like, hey, you got a cell phone? That's it. That's what I was like, you need your cell phone, man? And I just remember, then that's when I realized he was not dead. I was like, oh my god, hey. I was like, hey guy, who are you? Hi, yeah, you need your cell phone, you need to call somebody. And then all of a sudden he's like, here's my key. Like, I have a black Transit. He said white Transit. I have a white Transit. What the heck is a Transit, guys? I don't know any cars like a Transit. He's like, it's a Transit. What is a Transit? Someone tell me, because all I know is Honda, Hyundai, Ford. What is a Transit? Someone, I was like, oh, okay, I got you. I'll go. And it was not, it was one of those old-fashioned cars. Like, it didn't even have it was just a key. It was only the key, guys. I couldn't even like panic button that car. I was like, oh, okay, so it's a Ford. It's a white Ford. Why was there like 6 white Fords in the building? Like, I was like, okay, so let's go find his forward, couldn't find it. I felt bad. I was like, okay, so couldn't find it. How you doing? You still good? I was like, I couldn't find his car. All of a sudden, as I was in the parking lot, again trying to find his car, because I was like, I need to get his phone. He needs to call Bay. All of a sudden, I see an ambulance. I'm like, okay, we got the ambulance, we got the, and then a fire truck came. I was like, there's no fire, but we have a fire truck. Awesome, let's do this. And then I just returned. I was like, oh my God, let me just go in there and make sure he's okay. And then I was like, hey, I gave to the EMT, this guy was like, hey, he was asking for his phone and I couldn't find it. Like, all right, ma'am, all right. I'm like, okay, well, okay, my job here is done. They're like, Simone, stay right here. We need you to stay right here. I was like, oh, okay. This is what I'm getting paid for. All right, it's 9 in the morning now. Been here for 4 hours, and I'm like, I'm still tired. I didn't have my coffee yet, so I was like, okay, I'll stay right here with him. I looked down. His chest was like, I think he broke some ribs. So I was like, okay, he's dying. He's dying. And then I looked down a little bit further. They're cutting his pants off. I was like, okay, we're doing that here. All right, awesome. And then I see that his foot is twisted. Got twisted, like all the way freaking around. I was like, oh, okay. So he is crippled. He's crippled now. On the job, he's crippled. At my job, before the mall opened, I was like, all right, so am I losing my job? Are we being sued? Am I being sued because I was a witness? Like, I didn't know what was going on. At first, I thought he was dead. And then all of a sudden, they pull him on a stretcher. And I was like, oh, okay. So we only got his name. He didn't get his phone. There was an ambulance, everything. There was a huge scene at the mall. I mean, there was nothing I could possibly do at this point. I was just there. I was at work, and then all of a sudden it was like 9:45 and the mall was about to open, so we had to pretend like nothing ever happened. Nothing happened. There was freaking glass on the floor. What do you mean? A guy almost died. He flew, guys. He flew. Something happened. They're like, all right, the mall is about to open. We're about to open the doors. I was like, wait. What do you mean? We're still working? Like, I mean, we can't continue. A guy just flew. Like, we're gonna just sit here and pretend like this didn't happen. So, I mean, I got off at 10 o'clock, but I was still shaking. I was like shook, guys. I was shook. I was like, oh. So we're just gonna pretend like this guy did not come to his job to do his job, and he got electrocuted with 100 volts of electricity and flew across the room with glass all over the place, broke his ankle and broke some ribs. We're just gonna pretend like nothing happened. All right, let's do it. And I'm just like, wait. He was on the ladder that I use. I'm like, I'm not using this ladder anymore. I'm not gonna be the next victim, guys. I promise you, I'm not getting on that ladder anymore. I thought he was dead. And apparently we talked to the guy at work, and then I stayed there a little bit early. I was later. I was like, okay, so I need some information. They were like, he's okay, he's fine. His dad is with him. I was like, awesome. So he's alive. They're like, yeah. I was like, thank you. That's all I needed to know. I mean, I was freaking out enough. Even when I thought he was dead, I was freaking out when he was alive. I was freaking out when I couldn't find his phone. I was freaking out, guys. I was just freaking out. That's my story. It's the image is still in my head. I'm freaking out. This is why I can't work morning shift. I'm done. Work. This is what happens when you work retail. Guys, thank you so much for watching my video. If you ever had a crazy experience at work, leave it in the comment section, please. And like I always do, I leave my info, my social media below in the bio. That's what it is. I haven't did this in a long time, so go right here, right below, and you'll see my social media. So guys, thank you so much for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed the story. There will be more. If you want more stories, just let me know. Hopefully they're not like this one, but he's okay, guys. Everything's fine. We just don't use ladders. So make sure when you're at work, guys, if you work retail, if you're not really comfortable using any equipment like that, please don't, because I don't want this to happen to you. It could have been any of us, honestly. So just be careful when you're at work. I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching me.